Hello, hello. Shabbat shalom. So good to see all your faces.
Shabbat Shalom. So nice to be here with you. You might be wondering where I am. So I am a little ways north. I'm on the coast and I'm camping on the beach and it's raining and it's amazing. And I thought I might drive into the city and find, I don't know, like a Starbucks or something to lead services with you. Thought I might even drive home. And then we were brainstorming the people I'm with, and it turns out one of them has a military connection. And we called up the folks at the naval base here on Point Magoo. You've probably driven by it like 100 times on the 101. And we said like, hey, could we lead a Shabbat service from your chapel? So I'm in the chapel with all the gear set up that we used to use in the old days of Zoom. And this lovely chaplain helped us get connected and helped us get set up. And it's really amazing and it's really beautiful. And he was sort of happy to hear from us and happy to have a service here. In fact, he said it only just recently reopened, this chapel, over the last couple of weeks after 7 years of being completely shut down and unused. And I'm sure some of that was COVID and some of that was, I don't know, people being busy or not interested or maybe not having funds to do it. I'm not exactly sure, but he did ask that we offer up a prayer tonight that this chapel once again be filled with people with heartfelt prayers and community. That is so much what is so important to us and what brings us together on Shabbat. So let's hold the folks here on Point Magoo in our hearts as we prepare to welcome the angels. Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaShaveh, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei HaMlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Bochem Shalom, Malachei HaShalom,
I didn't want to bring live fire to a space that is really not mine. So I'm going to, I see you've got some candles lit. You've got an actual fire behind you. Is that right?
I do.
So wherever
I do.
you can
And
locate.
I've got Shabbat candles too. So
Beautiful. Great. I'll let you light those and we'll all take in the warmth together.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu להדליק נר של שבת.
You have a Siddur on page 23, Psalm 96, Shiru Ladonai. This last Shabbat of 2022 feels like such a blessing to me to be here with all of you. Blessing for me to be with friends and family. A blessing that the music of my night last night was the ocean. In and out, waves crashing. Woke up a bunch of times, just listened. So beautiful. Stepped outside, saw the stars. Here on this beautiful place, God's green earth. Let's welcome the Shabbat Pride.
be seated. It always amazes me that even through a screen, I feel connected to you all. And there is a oneness between all of us, among all of us. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai
Here in my temporary home for 2 nights by the beach, those loud crashing waves in constant conversation with the moon. I can't help thinking what that might have been like, standing at the shores of the sea, wondering, would they live or would they die? Would they be stuck or would they move forward? Michamocha, page 39.
I see Cantor Aviva with her timbrel. Michamocha, Bailim Adonai, Michamocha, Ner Arba Kodesh Nora, Tehilot Oseh Fele Nora, Tehilot Oseh Fele Malechutecha Ra'uvanecha Bokeh Yam Lifnei Moshe Ze'iliyanu ve'ameru Adonai Yiloch Le'olam Va'ed Adonai Yiloch Le'olam Va'ed V'ne'emar Yifad Adonai El Yaakov Ugalo Miyad Chasad Mimenu Baruch Ata Adonai Ga'al Baruch Ata Ga'al Yisrael. On the dawning of a new year, I think it's fair to to feel like we want to have a little extra protection in the night. We don't know what's coming in this coming year. Hopefully it will be better than the past year, than the past few years. So we offer this prayer for protection.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom V'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim Hashkivenu Eloheinu l'shalom V'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha V'taknenu v'tzach tova milfanecha Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom V'hamidenu shomreinu
Page 41, a prayer for Shabbat. La 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 la
Rise and face east as we turn to Amidah. We'll take a few moments for private prayer.
מקל חיים וחסד, מחיי מתים ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים ומתים אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בגבורות ומי דומה לך, מי כמוך בגבורות ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחייב ומצמיח ישועה, לה 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 לה
Thank you so much. What a prayer. Taking our energy now and turning it to all those who are in need of healing. In a moment, I'll share the congregation's Mishaberach list. If there's another name you'd like to share, I invite you to add it to the chat, or sometimes it's meaningful just to say it out loud in the space you're in, even if it only echoes in your living room. We feel it nonetheless, and the prayers are sent up. So if you'd like to share a name, please do, one way or another. We'll continue with Mishaberach.
משברך אבותינו, מקור הברכה לאמותינו. May the source of strength who blessed the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. משברך אמותינו, מקור הברכה לאבותינו. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
couple of brief announcements. Be sure to join us for MLK Shabbat. I believe that's January 13th, the Friday that is MLK weekend. Shelley, Jenny, and some extraordinary guests are planning a beautiful, very, very meaningful service. And come skiing with me in February. Lots of other great stuff going on. Be sure to check your email and all the materials we pull out.
And this coming Wednesday is our next singing jam. The singing jam is being reimagined and re-energized, and we're gonna have a new name for it, but it's still gonna be people singing together in a circle and learning our Shabbat songs and singing nigunim and singing in community and raising our spirits together. So come to the next singing circle this Wednesday at 7:00.
It'll still be singing. It'll still be a jam. So come.
Yes.
So I've been thinking a lot about change. Of course, this week is the beginning of the secular new year, the end of the secular new year, and the beginning of the secular new year. And I want to share just a couple of thoughts about change. One is from the Jewish tradition, in which you probably know this, but we actually have four, not one, but four New Years in the course of a given year. We have the first of Tishrei, which we all know as Rosh Hashanah. In the Talmud, it says, Rabbi Zera said that Tishrei is considered the new year in relation to the seasons. This opinion agrees with Rabbi Eliezer, who said the entire world was created in Tishrei. And in fact, that is also the time that we celebrate the creation of human beings. So that's probably the reason that it's the one that really took. It doesn't have that much attention in the Torah itself, but it was between the seasons changing and the idea that this was the world's birthday. That's what Rosh Hashanah is. There are some other meaningful things that start, like if you don't have a year like 2022 that's sort of universally recognized, and you want to count how long a foreign king has been in office. That's, you start counting on the first of Tishrei. There's some other things about tithes and that sort of thing. But Rosh Hashanah, of course, as we know it, is the new year. The 15th of Shvat is the new year for the trees. It was selected because the winter rains are over, sap has begun to rise, and fruit started to ripen. I kid you not, in Arizona, which is this climate very similar to Israel, right about Tu B'Shvat, the heat was coming. You could feel it coming. Any trace of winter was over. It was always a little sad in Arizona, but that's another story. The first of Nisan is the beginning of the beginning of the year that will be the month that will begin Pesach, and the beginning of spring is also a new year. That is the one that we really associate with the birth of our nation, the birth of the Jewish people, and many beginnings are tied to that new year. And then the first of Elul is another tax moment. It's another tithing having to do with cattle. But so we have 4 New Years in the Jewish calendar, and it makes me think that the Jewish tradition just has this unrelenting belief in change and possibility. 4 times a year, not one, 4 times a year, we get a clean start. We get to reimagine our lives. We get to reflect on where we have been and think about where we're headed. Of course, if we're taking the Jewish calendar seriously and we're also Westerners in America, now we have 5 times a year. And this coming week is one of them. Of course, New Year's resolutions have a mixed reputation, and they tend to be a little bit light, right? Oh, I'm going to start going to the gym, and that stuff matters. But there's a lot of cultural joking about, okay, I'm going to do a New Year's resolution, but by January 5th, it will be over. And so I want to talk for a minute about what our tradition believes about the possibility of change. And for that, I want to turn briefly to the Parsha, Vayigash, which I'm going to tell you a condensed version, but I actually think it's one of the most important parshiot in our Torah. And the reason I think that is because we see this unbelievable transformation of Judah. Let's remember, Judah is who we're named for. The Jewish people are named for Judah. And what happens with Judah is that his father, Jacob, remember, the whole traumatic story of their family begins by Jacob favoring Joseph, right? And that sets off decades of conflict and violence and estrangement. And we come into our parsha now, You can watch Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. You can read the story. Joseph is deciding whether to reveal himself to his brothers. He's the second in command to Pharaoh, and he's about to considering letting them know who he is. And the moment that he decides to do that, he has this giant outburst of emotion, which is also very uncharacteristic in the Torah. And when he decides to do that is when Judah says, because Joseph tells him, go back to your father. I'll give you all the grain you need. You'll be fine. Go back to your father, but I'm keeping Benjamin. And Judah says, I cannot go back to my father without, he doesn't use this word, but it's implied, without his favorite son. It will kill him if I go back there without his favorite son. It's clear from Judah's speech that everybody knows Joseph still favors someone who's not him. And what I love about that story, when Joseph hears that, he bursts out in tears and he says, everybody get out of the room. And he tells his brothers who he is. What I love about that story is that Jacob hasn't changed. Jacob still has a favorite and lets everybody know it. And yet Judah has decided he can change. He's not trapped by resentment, by jealousy, by pain, even though the pain is legit, it's real, but he's not going to live by it anymore. And in fact, he has deep compassion for his father. He says, I don't want to cause dad any more pain. I'm not going to do that. And in that moment, Joseph says, I've got to tell my brothers who I am. The story has completely changed now. So what I take from that story and thinking about change is that we so much want the people around us to change. I want that. We all want that. But this story teaches us that even when they don't, we can heal. We can choose to grow. I think that might be why we're called Jews. The final word I want to say about change and New Year's is that I often, I do have these sort of New Year's resolutions in my head, and I often think like, okay, clean slate, I'm going to come into work every morning and I'm going to get everything done, and I'm going to, be on top of it. And I'm going to be organized. And the part that I forget is that like, it's still going to be me showing up. I'm still going to be tired, and I'm still going to be stressed, and I'm still going to want to pay attention to the things I want to pay attention to and not the things I don't want to pay attention to. Like just because the calendar switches doesn't mean I'm going to show up differently. So I want to conclude by a teaching that I received in my email inbox by Ilana Aguilar. And she has a method that she suggests about picking a transformation and committing to it. She says, write yourself a letter on New Year's Eve, dear Mari, dear Shelley, and talk about the year that has ended. Describe how it felt, some highlights, some great moments. Describe the details and how it felt to you. And then maybe some challenges as well. And then describe what you hope to see in the new year, and specifically how you're going to get there. So she says, if you see yourself running a 10K, can you see yourself getting up early before school, before work, to work out? If you see yourself traveling in Italy, can you see yourself saving a little bit of the paycheck for that trip? So the change doesn't come just from an idea. It comes from concrete, sometimes seemingly small, sometimes seemingly or always deeply committed behaviors. Consistent changes. And she says, hold on to those throughout the year. Open that letter up next New Year's and see how you did. She says, this is my favorite end of the year and beginning of the year activity. It challenges me to visualize my dreams and see the steps to realizing them. And on January 1st, to truly start taking those steps. So I want to invite us all to imagine the new year, to remind ourselves that whether anything else around us changes, we have the possibility to heal and to grow. And above all, to enter what I hope will be beautiful, meaningful, nourishing, community-centered, joyful year. Have a wonderful 2023. Let's celebrate a lot of Shabbats together. Turning now to Kaddish Yatom, to Mourner's Kaddish. As a community, we are remembering tonight Beverly Given, Harvey Letter, Zoya Pasker, and Peter Genovese. If there's a name you'd like to add, somebody for whom you're saying Kaddish, again, I invite you to either put it in the chat or share the name out loud. Always Father Julian Mandel. For all those in our hearts. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Ve'alma tivrach chirutei ve'amrich malchutei. B'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael. Ba'agala uv'izman kariv ve'imru. Amen.
Amen.
Yehei shmei
Shmei
Rabbah
Rabbah
mevarach
mevarach
ve'olam
ve'olam
u'lamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. Hadar, thank you. Go ahead, good. Vita Allah
V'tadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kudusha
Richu.
le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'imru.
Amen.
Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen.
Amen.
Oseh shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom Alenu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru.
Amen.
Amen. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. Oh, say shalom.
I want to just acknowledge those names that were added. Dave Andrus, Betty Freudenheim, David Rosenblum, and also Barbara Walters, who died today, who wanted to be remembered as a loving mother and a good journalist.
Mm.
I think we'll conclude with Adon Olam, Od Lang Syim again. Dear friends, have a happy, healthy, wonderful, secular New Year.
Do we want to do a kiddush? I forgot to add
Oh,
that.
yeah, let's do a
Let's
kiddush.
do a kiddush. Should we do a kiddush? Okay, Alan's bringing me a kiddush cup. And a challah. Thank you. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho, b'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh bereshit, ki hu yom techila למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים, כי בנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים. ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת לחיים.
Alan, you're hired as prop master.
Come do the motzi with me.
I'm not dressed.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'tei avon. Thank you. So maybe it's a little silly to do Adon Olam to Auld Lang Syne, but it just feels good to me.
Go for it.
Oh, if I can get the page to turn. There we go. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Le'et Nasa B'chefzo Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Ve'acharei Kichlot HaKol Levado Yimloch Nora והוא יהיה בתפארה, והוא אחד ואין שני, להר שלו להכבירה, בלי ראשית בלי תכלית, ולא העוז והמשרה. והוא אלי וחי גואלי בצור חבלי בעת צרה, והוא ניסי ומנוס לי מנת כוסי ביום אקרא, בידו הפקיד רוחי בעת אישן Adonai li velo ira.
Kelly, we're going to do the last verse one more time. And I'm going to tell you about my sister who got married in Scotland. And I don't know if you've been to Scotland for an event, but they end every big communal event with Auld Lang Syne. And they do it where like they're in a big circle and they hold hands and they switch off holding hands like this for one verse. And then they reverse hands and hold like that for the next verse.
Wow.
And it's actually this, like beautiful communal moment. So let's imagine we're holding hands, standing in this circle. You can hold hands if you've got somebody with you, standing in this beautiful circle of Shabbat and love and wishing each other well.
בידו הפקיד רוחי בעת אישן ועירה, ואם רוחי גביעתי
Adonai li velo ira.
Shabbat Shalom. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.